Learn English. Elara felt a persistent whisper in her soul, a quiet longing to connect with the wider world. English, she realized, was the key to unlocking countless opportunities and new perspectives. Yet, the mountain of vocabulary and confusing grammar seemed incredibly daunting. She often wondered where to even begin this colossal linguistic adventure. It felt like an impossible dream. Her initial attempts were sporadic, fueled more by enthusiasm than a solid plan. She'd browse online lessons, feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information available. How to learn English was a question that plagued her nights, leaving her feeling inadequate and frustrated. The path ahead seemed utterly unclear. Then, one rainy afternoon, a friend shared a simple piece of advice: start with your ears, Elara. Listen, listen, listen. This small suggestion sparked a new direction in her journey. It suddenly made so much more sense than just memorizing lists. A true revelation dawned upon her. Elara embraced this challenge wholeheartedly, dedicating an hour each day to active listening. She streamed English podcasts, from news commentaries to engaging storytelling shows. Her focus wasn't on understanding every single word immediately, but rather on grasping the overall rhythm and intonation of the language. This routine became her anchor. She discovered a profound truth about how to improve your listening skills: consistency was paramount. Even when tired, she'd put on an English audio drama, letting the sounds wash over her. Gradually, distinct words began to emerge from the linguistic blur, like islands appearing from a morning mist. It was truly fascinating. Movies and TV series, initially viewed with subtitles, became her next immersive tool. She'd rewatch favorite scenes, turning off the captions to test her comprehension. This practice was immensely enjoyable and surprisingly effective for picking up colloquialisms and natural speech patterns. Her ear was becoming finely tuned. The passive listening phase slowly transitioned into an active engagement with the sounds. Elara found herself unconsciously mimicking phrases she heard, even if quietly. This natural inclination led her to the next pivotal step in her learning process, a revolutionary approach she had never considered. One morning, while doing chores, she started talking to herself in English. It felt incredibly awkward at first, like having a private conversation with an invisible companion. But she persevered, describing her actions aloud. I am washing the dishes. The water is warm. This plate is clean now. This start talking at home method proved incredibly liberating. There was no judgment, no pressure, just a safe space to experiment with new vocabulary and grammatical structures. She began narrating her thoughts, her plans, and even her dreams, all in English. Her confidence grew silently. She started asking herself questions and answering them aloud. What will I eat for dinner tonight? Perhaps some pasta. This constant internal dialogue, externalized through speech, cemented new words and phrases in her long-term memory. It was an ingenious, how to talk at home to yourself strategy. The bathroom mirror became her most patient listener. She would practice introducing herself, describing her day, and even debating trivial topics. Sometimes she'd record these monologues, cringing at her pronunciation but also celebrating the improvement she noticed over weeks. Progress was undeniably evident. This period of self-talk wasn't just about speaking, it was also about self-correction. When she stumbled upon a word or phrase, she'd make a mental note, then look it up later. This proactive approach significantly accelerated her vocabulary acquisition and grammatical accuracy. It was a rigorous self-coaching regimen. The way of learning English she embraced was holistic, combining input and output. Her listening skills provided the raw material, and her self-talk sessions molded that material into usable language. She felt a growing sense of readiness, a quiet anticipation for the next big step forward. Yet, the idea of how to talk in English with real people still loomed large, a formidable barrier. The fear of making mistakes, of sounding foolish, often paralyzed her. She knew speaking with others was crucial, but overcoming that initial apprehension felt like climbing a sheer cliff face. Her first brave step into external communication involved online language exchange partners. She started with written messages, carefully composing her thoughts. This allowed her to build confidence in expression without the immediate pressure of spoken conversation. It was a gentle easing into interaction. Gradually, she transitioned to voice messages, then short video calls. Her heart would pound before each call, but the thrill of successful communication outweighed her anxieties. She discovered that most native speakers were incredibly patient and encouraging, which significantly eased her apprehension. One memorable evening, during a video call with a partner from Canada, Elara faced a moment of unexpected challenge. The connection suddenly became choppy, and her partner's words blurred into an indistinct mumble. Panic began to rise in her throat, threatening to shut down the conversation entirely. She took a deep breath, remembering her listening exercises. Instead of giving up, she focused intently, straining to catch keywords, piecing together the fragmented sentences. Her partner repeated some phrases slowly, and Elara found herself understanding more than she thought possible. It was a pivotal breakthrough. This incident, though initially frustrating, became a profound turning point. It taught her resilience and the true depth of her improved listening skills. She realized that even imperfect listening could lead to comprehension if she remained calm and focused. Her confidence soared immensely. This was her very interesting story, not a dramatic event, but an internal shift in her perception of language learning. It wasn't about flawless comprehension anymore, it was about persistent effort and the ability to adapt. This realization changed everything for her moving forward. From that day forward, how to talk with anyone became less terrifying and more exciting. She actively sought opportunities to use English, whether at local meetups or during her travels. Each conversation, no matter how brief, was a victory, a stepping stone to greater fluency. She learned that people appreciate effort far more than perfection. Even simple greetings and short questions could spark engaging dialogues. The fear of judgment slowly dissipated as she experienced firsthand the warmth and understanding of those she interacted with. It was incredibly empowering. Elara joined a local book club that discussed novels in English. This pushed her to articulate complex ideas and engage in deeper conversations. She would prepare by reading the book thoroughly, noting new vocabulary, and even rehearsing potential discussion points in her mind. The lively debates and diverse opinions within the book club further refined her communication skills. She learned to formulate arguments, express disagreement politely, and contribute effectively to group discussions. This environment was challenging but also immensely rewarding for her. Another technique she found invaluable was shadowing native speakers. She'd listen to a short audio clip and then immediately repeat the sentences, mimicking the speaker's intonation, rhythm, and speed. This greatly improved her pronunciation and natural flow of speech. It felt like an acting exercise. She also started keeping a language journal, documenting new words, common idioms, and challenging grammatical structures. Reviewing these entries regularly helped consolidate her learning and provided a tangible record of her progress over time. It was a personalized dictionary and grammar guide. Every morning, she would still start talking at home, but now her conversations with herself were more complex, more nuanced. She could discuss current events, analyze articles, and even plan imaginary scenarios, all in fluent English. Her internal world expanded dramatically. Her listening skills continued to sharpen. She could now understand fast-paced conversations, podcasts with complex topics, and even different regional accents. The hours she had invested in active listening were now paying dividends in her everyday interactions. It was truly a remarkable transformation. The way of learning English had become less about rigid rules and more about embracing the language as a living, breathing entity. She found joy in discovering new expressions, in understanding subtle nuances, and in expressing herself with increasing clarity and confidence. It was a lifelong journey. Elara started volunteering for international events in her city, eager to put her English skills to practical use. She helped tourists navigate, assisted at cultural festivals, and even interpreted occasionally, showcasing her incredible linguistic progress to herself and others. This practical application solidified her learning. One day, she found herself in a bustling market, assisting an elderly tourist who had lost her way. The woman spoke very quickly, her words a rapid stream of questions. Elara, without a moment's hesitation, calmly listened, processed, and provided clear directions. The tourist was immensely grateful. This real-life situation was a testament to how far she had come. The initial fear of how to talk in English with strangers had completely vanished, replaced by a genuine desire to connect and help. Her confidence was unwavering, her words flowing effortlessly and naturally. She realized that true fluency wasn't about speaking without an accent or never making a mistake. It was about being able to communicate effectively, to express your thoughts and understand others, even when circumstances were challenging. This broader perspective was liberating. The journey to learn English was not a straight path, but a winding road filled with small victories and occasional setbacks. But Elara learned to view setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities for further learning and refinement. Every stumble taught her something valuable. She began mentoring other aspiring English learners, sharing her unique way of learning English. She emphasized the importance of self-compassion, patience, and finding enjoyment in the process. Her own story became an inspiration for many who felt similarly daunted. How to improve your listening skills was always her first piece of advice. You must fill your well before you can draw from it, she would say. She encouraged them to find content they genuinely enjoyed, making the listening practice a pleasure rather than a chore. Then came, start talking at home. She insisted on its transformative power. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect person, she'd tell them. Your voice needs practice, and your home is the safest, most supportive place to begin this crucial journey. She often recounted her very interesting story about the choppy video call, explaining how that moment of challenge solidified her understanding and boosted her resilience. It demonstrated that true learning often comes from navigating difficulties, not avoiding them. How to talk in English with others was the ultimate goal, she explained, but it required building a strong foundation first. The self-talk is your private gym, she'd say, where you build the muscles before you enter the public arena. This analogy resonated with many. She advised her ments to embrace the fear of judgment, to see it as a natural part of growth. Every single person who speaks a second language has been where you are, she would reassure them. Mistakes are not failures, they are stepping stones. For those wondering how to talk with anyone, Elara suggested starting small. Simple greetings, asking for directions, ordering food, these everyday interactions built confidence. She emphasized that even a few words could open up a world of connection. Her teaching approach was rooted in her personal experience of how to talk at home to yourself. She firmly believed that unlocking one's inner voice was the first step towards confidently expressing oneself outwardly. It created a powerful mental bridge. Elara's story became a beacon, illuminating a practical and effective way of learning English. It wasn't about expensive courses or fancy apps, but about consistent, deliberate practice and a courageous spirit. Her journey proved that dedication truly pays off. She often reflected on her initial struggles, comparing them to her current ease of communication. The contrast was astounding. From a hesitant whisper, her English voice had grown into a clear, confident articulation, capable of engaging in any conversation. The world, once a distant concept, now felt intimately connected through the bridge of language. She could read international news, enjoy foreign films without subtitles, and engage in meaningful dialogues with people from diverse backgrounds. Her horizons broadened infinitely. Learning English wasn't just about acquiring a skill, it was about a profound personal transformation. It reshaped her identity, boosted her self-esteem, and opened doors to opportunities she never imagined possible. It was truly life-changing in every aspect. Elara's journey serves as a powerful reminder for anyone embarking on language learning. It underscores that patience, persistence, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone are far more valuable than innate talent. Everyone can achieve fluency. Her story champions the idea that the way of learning English is unique for everyone, but certain universal principles apply. Listening, speaking, even to yourself, and seeking interaction are foundational pillars for success. These methods are universally effective. The fear of mistakes, once a formidable enemy, had become a friendly guide, pointing out areas for improvement. Elara now welcomed them, understanding that each error was a lesson learned, pushing her closer to mastery. This mindset shift was crucial. Her ultimate message to all aspiring learners was simple yet profound: your voice matters. Don't let fear silence it. Start where you are, use what you have, and keep moving forward. The world is waiting to hear you speak. This journey wasn't just about grammar and vocabulary, it was about discovering a new version of herself, one that was more confident, more connected, and more capable. English became not just a language, but a vehicle for personal growth and empowerment. Elara's story, a testament to dedication, reverberates with a powerful truth. Consistent, deliberate practice, coupled with an open mind, yields remarkable results. Anyone can unlock their potential and achieve fluency with the right approach and unwavering commitment. Her advice on how to improve your listening skills remains her most cherished. She always highlights how understanding the flow and rhythm of English is foundational to speaking it naturally and confidently. It's the bedrock of all communication. The quiet moments of "start talking at home" laid the groundwork for public speaking. These private rehearsals built the muscle memory and confidence required to engage in meaningful conversations with anyone, anywhere, at any time. Elara's journey from a hesitant beginner to a fluent communicator is a living example of what is possible. Her very interesting story inspires countless others to embark on their own English learning adventures, proving that perseverance truly transforms lives.